the so the Lord had told Abram, to get out of the city, away from his family and relatives and everybody, because of their idolatries, their idol worshiping, everything they were doing that was sinful unto the Lord, because the Lord had things that God had plans for Abram. So the people that went with him was Lot, which is the nephew of Abram, it was Hebron, that was his brother, and he had his son. Abram's had his wife Sarai, and Lot had his wife and his family and children with flocks. They had herds and everything like that. They all left out of the land that their father dwelt, their relatives dwelt in, and went into Canaan, the land of Canaan. Now they all came together, and as they were migrating together, they grew. The land had so many flocks and herds, and the servants are multiplying, and it was just kept going and going and going until they had Abraham
they outgrew each other.
Yeah, they outgrew each other
so much.
So they actually came together, and they decided which way to go. So Lot, he decided that he wanted to go towards Sodom and Gomorrah. Well, the Lord had already knew that there was evil and wickedness in that land, that it was so exceedingly great unto the Lord that he couldn't handle it. He was about to destroy it anyway.
Stink in his nostrils, as he would, use the term in some parts of the Bible.
So,
remember, go ahead. Mind you, we said it was wicked, and it was this, sinning was, what is it? Sinner.
It was sinning.
And sinning, and it was so exceedingly that it got to the Lord.
Exactly.
And his wrath was, go ahead.
It was unbelievable, and the Lord couldn't handle this sin, this great sin that was placed upon it. But see, you have to look at what was going on in Sodom and Gomorrah. So the question is, should we have same-sex intercourse, or the same sexual intercourse?
Right, with the same sex, like with a male. We're talking about penetration. We're talking about what people do with, whatever, sexually, sexual intercourse. We are talking about that.
Exactly.
And but it wasn't only that was going on there. They worship other gods. They were doing bestiality and all of that stuff was happening and everything. See, when the Lord didn't mention all of that, but those things were happening, because in the book of Romans it talks about how that it'll change your mind, and then you'll lose knowledge of the Lord, and you'll believe that you will not be judged.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So you'll turn yourself, you'll do things that's contrary to your normal nature.
That's right.
For you to be with a male to be with a female, instead you want to be with
the same sex.
The same sex.
Exactly.
And we can. You did a really good job at it. At the book of Genesis, the 19th chapter, it covers. They didn't want, Lot. Lot came out the door. Lot came out the door because the angels had showed up.
Exactly.
Be careful when angels show up.
And
I'm not talking about the angels of the devil either. Angels of the Lord, the sons of God. Be careful when they show up.
Exactly.
Because if something's wrong, and they're gonna tell you about it. If the Lord speak to you and tell you to get out and to keep on warning you, because it came back. So Lot came outside his place, his house. You know how you step outside the door and shut the door behind you? Well, Lot did that.
Exactly.
Because small and large men were out there.
Exactly. No, I was going to say too that the angels that was sent from the Lord, because of Abram's cry and questioning, if there is 50, if we proceed, he's coming to, because he knew that his nephew and his rest of his family are presiding in Sodom and Gomorrah, and he did not want his loved ones to be destroyed. He knew
That's
that Lot was a righteous man, regardless of what was going on in that city. That city is full of sin, but you have one. That's the thing, one. And the Lord sees that. When he sees is one, or is maybe 100, he's not going to destroy it. He's going to give you fair warning. So that's why the Lord,
that's a good point.
the Lord had allowed those angels, those two angels, to come to the doorsteps of Lot, so that his family would not be destroyed.
Be careful of lingering in a place where the Lord had came into your dreams,
exactly,
or prophetically preach over the pulpit in a city or cities that the Lord said He's going to cause, a flood or danger, or some kind of danger, or some destruction to them. Be careful. If the Lord tell you to get out, get out.
Exactly.
Don't stay in there because you have this and that going on and this and that. You can always go somewhere else.
Right, exactly.
That's a good point.
And so we have to be so careful.
And He's good. So we're gonna go the story. If you read you'll see He's real good. He's merciful.
That's right.
Because remember when Lot was outside the door. So you can imagine your own self outside the door, and you're outside your home, your property, and here's men, small and large. They know that you have some two beautiful girls, women, virgins, never been touched by a man, nobody.
Exactly.
And Lot said, "Look, I'll give you these."
Yeah, because
my girls.
Exactly, because the men that was in the city of Sodom and Gomorrah came to the Lot's door post and asking, telling him, bring those two angels or those two men that is in your home, presiding in your home. Bring them out so we may get to know them. And get to know them is what?
Sexual intercourse.
Exactly.
In every way, in every fashion.
Exactly.
Whatever they like to do, they was going to do to them.
Exactly.
And then Lot, they got mad at Lot. Said, since you ain't gonna, in other words, you ain't gonna let me get those people. I'm gonna do more than that we were thinking about doing. We had in our mind to do to them. They had it already in their mind.
Exactly.
They said, "Oh, did you see those two in there? I can imagine them."
Exactly.
Oh man, let's go after them.
Exactly. And the thing is that
these are men that were homosexual. These are homosexual people. These are people with the same sex.
Exactly.
I know some of you people say, "Oh, I don't like that," because that's your lust or whatever. It doesn't mean that it's right to do.
Right. Exactly.
Because people lust is adultery, fornication, all that was going about in that city. Not only just having sex with the same person, a man or whatever. I'm sure women did too.
Oh yeah.
It was all happening in those cities.
Exactly.
Of Sodom and Gomorrah, it was happening in those cities. So we're never what you call gay bashing or homosexual bashing.
If you think
we are Christians, we are trying to lead people to salvation.
Exactly.
And eternal life.
Exactly. Because if you think about it, if you are doing same sex, you're dealing with someone who might be married. You might be dealing with someone who might be single. So you having same sex with adulterers, fornication,
and idolatry and everything else. All of that stuff.
Everything is all in one. That's all in one package. So everything that we're talking here, we're not gay bashing at all. We're talking about in general. Sin is sin. There's no black or white about it. It's sin.
Right. You can't
say there's a little sin. Oh, I just committed.
Do that.
Of course.
They go over the pulpit and preach about homosexuality. They know something in there, but they think they're gonna run those out, and then some are still in there, and then they won't run out the fornicators and adulteries and the liars and the stealers and the pedophiles and everybody else. They won't run those people out.
No.
But the purpose of preaching is to draw people to Christ, to cause them to love Him.